So part 2 on the Narc. Okay? All right? Playing in your face. So this fool knew that I had came from a background of money. My mom was a 6-figure earner at IBM, and that's why just because it looks good on the outside doesn't mean the house is clean. Because hers damn sure wasn't. It was filthy, wicked. Okay? And so once I started working again, I decided once I had found out that there was a 24-hour daycare, and I put our son in that. Okay, signed him up, filled out the paperwork. He didn't do shit. Okay, he paid a few bills every now and then towards that, but then stopped, of course, because he didn't have a job. But before he lost his job, this is how good the Most High is. He told me that he didn't want me working because it would affect him if he didn't have a babysitter, which is another reason why I put our son in that 24-hour daycare so that I could work. And then he told me because he made more money than me, all right, that his job was more important than mine. Because, back in the day when you first starting out as a teenager, young, don't have any experience, and somebody else does, of course they're going to pay them more, you would think. Okay. First met him. He started out as an assistant manager at a clothing company. Then moved up to a store manager. Then moved up to a district manager, which is the job change and why I was here in Georgia in the first place with his ass. And I seen that as inspiring to me. Okay. So then I started out at a gas station. All right. And then I was a cashier and, stalker and all that stuff. And then I ended up being an assistant manager, got promoted to assistant manager. I was able to transfer with that company as an assistant manager here in Georgia. And that's when shit started getting real and crazy because I was working crazy hours. I had a lot of responsibility. And I got inspired by what he was doing. Then, once I became that assistant manager, he started getting jealous because not only was I making my own money from the jump, taking care of business with our son, I was moving up in the ranks and he wanted to keep me down. So when he started acting a fool like that, he lost his goddamn job. Plus he was out there cheating anyway. And as a result, the Most High worked so good that he lost his damn job, his benefits. And when he finally got another one, he had to go work at a parking company as a damn whatever he started out with and then became an assistant manager. Now, ain't that something? Then he didn't want me to live with him anymore. He was cheating on me, so I got my own apartment and what have you. I've been in Georgia for at least 20 years, I would say. And, fast forwarding, I had to go stay in a shithole, but it was with roaches and leaks and mold because it was all I could afford being a single parent and him not having a job. Once he knew I had a job, now all of a sudden he wanted to get back with me. Once he knew I had a place, all of a sudden he wanted to play like he was always the good Samaritan and steward towards me in the relationship. Basically, he just came back to use me because he was losing all his shit and he wanted to shack up with me and run the same bullshit again. Anyway, the bitch he was cheating on me with was in and out, up and down with her goddamn life and coming in and out his life, trying to stay and shack up with him and all this stuff, sleeping on his couch that made it to the bed, all these things. And he was taking care of raising her children with her, all while I had mine because, the children was with her, but I had mine. And I'm not saying he didn't step it up as a dad or wasn't in his child's life, but it ain't the picture that needs to be painted. So what ended up happening was later on down the road, this fool and all five of them, because I went to go send our son to go live with him. It's his turn to take care of him. It's his responsibility as well. They end up all in a 1-bedroom shack attached to another shack, okay, and was all in there together. Couldn't even afford a 2-bedroom. Meanwhile, I could. I ended up being blessed, moving to Buckhead, got us a 2-bedroom apartment, me and my son, and the plan was, because I wasn't with him at the time, I had started another relationship with this other narc, moved us in the apartment, okay, brought his sorry ass with me because he, first of all, was hightailing it, especially, this is the second narc, when he saw where I lived and the luxury I was living in after leaving his ass behind in a roach-infested apartment that we lived in for at least 7 years until got our shit together. But I'm going to tell you why that happened. All right? Made the mistake of doing that. He brings his shitty ass behavior over to our new apartment. Then all of a sudden, my baby daddy finds out through our son that I live in Buckhead. Now he want to drop him off and pick him up and come in and see how, all the bullshit. All right? But you wasn't supporting me when I was coming up and I had to make it. You wasn't supporting me when I was making $7, $8, $9 an hour, $11, $14 an hour. No, you wanted to come around when a bitch started making $40, $50, $60,000 a year. Yeah, okay, take it there and try to take it there. Now all of a sudden you want to be the best of friends and all the bullshit they could muster. I'm just trying to tell you. Okay, but getting back to that shack that he was shacking up with that bitch, okay, they bum ass fucked around and lost the goddamn shit and became homeless. So, the Most High is good. And meanwhile, I'm on the rising up, making more money, living in luxury, moved out of my Buckhead apartment because I no longer want to be with this bum anymore who did the same thing and worse, because I stayed too long. He didn't want to leave because I was the best thing he had, and so on and so forth, and just fucked up or tried to fuck up my entire life. Stay tuned for part 2. 3.